Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Monday morning to you all. Hope you guys are feeling well this morning. It's Monday. I know a lot of people always don't feel their best on Monday mornings, but hopefully you are. We're going to talk about the weather today. I'm expecting some pretty active activity out there. Portions of the southeast could see some severe weather. The Carolinas have a slight risk for severe storms today, so that's going to be the first topic we talk about. That's kind of uncommon for August. It's not super rare or anything like that, but certainly not very, very common. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about portions of the rest of the country. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If you guys got anything I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. Let's continue to pray for the schools, the children, the teachers, and for a safe, fun-filled year, that's for sure. I know I got two little girls that start school tomorrow, so I'm a little anxious a little bit about it, just the craziness in the world right now. But let's just pray. Prayer is powerful, so let's do that. So let's get rolling this morning. Water vapor loop, tall upper ridge over the central portion of the country. Let's try to build a speak right this morning. You still got the tropical moisture from what's left over with Invest 98L. Very, very weak steering currents down here, so it's just moving slow. So it continues to dump a lot of rain on southern Texas, and has done so over the last 24 hours. With this upper ridge, you have shortwave pulses, which think of this as pieces of energy that kind of ride the upper boundary of this upper ridge. You got one kind of scooting down this morning into this afternoon. This is going to fire up an environment that's going to support strong to severe storms. And some of these will create a ruckus this afternoon, this evening across the Carolinas. We're about to zoom in on you guys here in a second. So that's really going to be the biggest storyline today. And here it is. You got the marginal risk up here in the northern plains, also in the middle of the country, the central U.S. And then this marginal risk that stretches from areas of Mississippi all the way up to the NCVA state line. But inside of this, a slight risk, level 2 out of 5. This includes Charlotte and Raleigh and everybody in between. And then the upstate, a good little chunk of the upstate of South Carolina, not quite down to Columbia, but I'm expecting an area of some pretty nasty storms to work through this area today. Tornado risk, check it out, a 2% risk of a spin up in this area. There's going to be a zone, excuse me, a zone we watch out for a temperature boundary with cooler and more warm, moist air that's going to kind of bump up against each other. This is actually going to cause an enhancement of storm development and a little bit of a spin to the atmosphere, so we'll watch that right here today. Wind threat, a 15% risk of damaging winds occurring in this area, 25 miles in a given location, and a hail threat, which is not very common for this time of the year this far south. But here it is. Some of these storms, especially the ones that can really take on a supercell form in nature, are going to produce hail for sure. So Raleigh to Charlotte, Fayetteville, down to Chesterfield, South Carolina, Rock Hill, South Carolina, Lancaster, you guys need to watch out in this area today. I really think it's going to be an active evening down here. Watches and warnings, heat advisories up. The heat's returning. We'll see how long this lasts, but unfortunately, heat advisories for a good chunk of Mississippi, the entire northern portion of Louisiana, central and southern Arkansas, and several states in Oklahoma and Texas. So the heat is back with the high humidity. So here we go. Let's take a look at the HRRR model. We'll start this off around 8 a.m. this morning. You already got some showers around, some cloud cover. But as we get into about I would say lunchtime, you'll start to see some scattered showers, maybe a storm in and around the Hickory to Charlotte area. But as we're getting into 3, 4, 5 p.m., these become much more widespread in nature. And what you watch out for is in this area right into here, early on, around the time you're heading home from work in Charlotte, it could definitely be a very active evening commute, that is for sure. But some of these storms along this little zone or boundary could have a spin. They could produce some low-level rotation, is what the Storm Prediction Center is mentioning. And I'm telling you, if you're even over here to Greenville, but definitely Charlotte, Rock Hill, up to Raleigh, like I said, Fayetteville. But watch as it gets a little bit later in the afternoon, the evening, we're starting to get around the 7 p.m. time frame, this little broken segment of storms right here starts to really erupt just north of Columbia, heading towards Florence, hitting Fayetteville. And I really think as we get later in the evening, any kind of tornado threat diminishes, and we probably get more of a damaging wind, heavy rain, frequent lightning, and large hail threat. But I'm telling you, these storms right here can really create some noise later this evening, and then they march their way all the way, and it can even stretch all the way out to Augusta. It just depends how kind of bowed out these storms are, how long they are. But they make it all the way to Myrtle Beach as we're approaching the midnight time frame a little bit later tonight. But this is going to be an active little stretch of weather right here tomorrow across the Carolinas. You look at the updraft velocity. Now, this doesn't mean this model is trying to tell you where a tornado is going to be. It's trying to tell you where some of these updrafts can spin. So in general, as we're getting into later this afternoon, I mean, these storms will have a little bit of a spin to them. We got to watch out for them. I really think the highest tornado threat will be a little bit down here, even though the slight risk stretches all the way out to Raleigh. I think this is the area we watch out for here a little bit later today. I would actually be out in storm chasing this setup, and who knows, I still might, because I mean, this is right here, right in my neck of the woods. But it's the day before school starts. My girls have gymnastics. It's just bad timing. It really is. But the Southeast in general, pretty active weather, but obviously not as active as the Carolinas. But expect a few strong to severe storms, even stretching all the way through Alabama, Georgia today. Maybe a shower or two in central Florida. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. I think the more you get into Virginia, the more so it'll just be more some showery activity, not so much storms. Temperatures today, here's that boundary. Rain cooled air up here in Virginia, northern sections of North Carolina. Heats up very quick once you start to get into the Midlands of South Carolina, points west. You got 80s, 90s, widespread 90s there. Once you get into Tennessee, into Kentucky, more so 80s. But this is going to be a pretty hot day today. You're not under the influence of this upper trough anymore. Down here, it's heating up again. It's typical summer type temperatures for the deep south for sure, all the way to Arkansas, where I think Little Rock will get over 100 degrees again today. And then here we go, looking at the northeast, pretty quiet, some showers, maybe a storm or two will try to kind of meander north actually into northern VA, West Virginia, maybe some showers into PA. But other than that, pretty quiet day, maybe some showers. In fact, there'll be some cloud cover around this area that will keep you guys cool in the mid-Atlantic. But nothing too crazy out here at all. And here's that pocket of cooler air due to cloud cover and rains. If you're not under this pocket of cooler air, you're probably warm into the 70s and 80s. So actually, not a very hot day, a pretty comfortable day temperature-wise across the northeast. South central U.S., besides this little spin down here that will continue to create some showers and storms across southern areas of Texas. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. There will be a chance of severe storms in Nebraska a little bit later this evening. So we'll watch out for this as this upper ridge continues to kind of fly over here. So pieces of energy continue to fly over this upper ridge. And, these pieces of energy ride this boundary. So strong to severe storms are certainly possible in Nebraska today. Pretty hot. This is the upper ridge. And, and it's not a knock on any kind of meteorologist or anything. But I saw a meteorologist in Little Rock yesterday. What did they say? He didn't say it yesterday. He said it, I think, last week. He said he thought that the 100-degree plus readings were over with for this summer. And I thought in my head, I was like, man, it just seems really premature to say. And sure enough, based off the H-R model, it looks like you guys in Little Rock could certainly flirt with 100 degrees a day, if not get a couple degrees higher. So, even this time of the year, anywhere in the South, it's hard to say the worst of summer's over. We've had some pretty terrible heat waves in August before, so you just never know. But very hot in Texas, Oklahoma, up to Kansas, and then there's a boundary in Nebraska where it gets much cooler when you get up above the upper ridge, if you will. So conditions up here in the north central U.S., a little spin right here this morning and this afternoon, this evening. Riding, like I said, the upper ridge up here. This will bring some shower activity. Keep temperatures probably a little cool in Iowa, areas of South Dakota today, as this just area of just light to moderate rain. But, You might, due to a little bit of surface heating, you might get some storm activity a little further south you work. But a little bit later this evening, getting close to midnight, you could definitely have some severe storms to erupt across North Dakota. So some of these can pack a punch up here a little bit later tonight. So if you're in North Dakota, northern areas of North Dakota, and eastern areas, that's why you got a marginal risk up here. Some of these storms can be quite intense. Everybody else, an isolated shower or two, a storm possible, but pretty quiet. Temperatures, pocket of cooler air due to the fact that you have that rain and clouds right here in this area, and then just 70s and some 80s everywhere else. Pretty decent day out there. But that's all I got, guys. Starting to run out of breath. I don't know why. Probably because I slept in this morning and just my energy's not hitting. So, but God bless all y'all. Have a great Monday, and I should have you a video tonight. I'll try to squeeze you in something tonight. The models look really interesting overnight as far as tropical activity as we near the end of the month. So we'll see if that maintains, because lately it has not. But talk to you guys later. Have a great Monday.